Hey, welcome back. So there are a lot of things that go into the life well lived. I've talked about how essential it is to love yourself, and later I'm going to talk about attention and where that goes and how important that is. And also gratitude is extremely important. You can live on gratitude. And in all my studies and all my books I've read and all the shrinks I've seen and all the stuff I've been involved in, there's one thing that everyone seems to agree on. And if there was one thing that you could kind of take home with you if you wanted to have a life well lived, and that would be to simply be yourself. Each one of us is unique. We're like kind of like a flower, and there's really no one else like us. And if we're going to be our most magnificent selves, we really need to embrace that in its totality. And it is beautiful because it is unique. And there will never be another one like you. For however long this universe lasts, you're it. You're like a one-up masterpiece unto yourself. And it's often hard to simply be ourselves. The critters don't have a problem with it. If you look out there in the woods, the birds are being themselves, the squirrels are being themselves. It's just the people that have a hard time being themselves. So anyways, without belaboring the point too much, I told you that, in these videos, I try to make it real for you, and how these lessons, when you live into these things, when you live into some of this stuff, how can really make a change for you. So I think that everybody, maybe not everybody, but close to everybody, is interested in having a great relationship with somebody that they love, that they can build a life with, they can hug, and they can be with, through thick and thin, and share a place to live with and have a life together, somebody special. We all want that. And during my life, I had thought a number of times that I had found the person that was going to be that person. Maybe I had half a dozen pretty serious relationships and another half a dozen relationships that could have been. And looking back on those relationships, I can see how I was shape-shifting myself a little bit in all of them. I think I was kind of modifying my behavior a little bit, maybe modifying a little bit about how I spoke about things or what I believed. And then also when I looked at these women that I thought maybe I could be with, and some of them we went for it, there were always things there that I knew were not really compatible with the person that I knew myself to be. And they were pretty important things, but there was a number of things there that I really did like and I really did want. And so I would just go ahead and give it a shot, even though I could see right off the bat that it wasn't really a great match. So this went on and on and on, and so much pain and suffering. And I went through a number of very painful, expensive breakups and things. And finally, by the time I got to, I think it was about age 58, I was beginning to wonder if it was ever going to happen for me. And it just, I was completely confounded. I thought I had my shit together and everything. And I was beginning to live my life as though I was being lived, and I am being lived, and a lot of things had settled down for me, but that had not. And so I decided, something, I'm gonna do something counterintuitive here. Instead of trying to improve myself in these little areas where I still have some rough edges or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to triple down on being me. And when I go out and I meet someone for the first time, however that may be, sometimes I met people over the internet or whatever, I say, you know what? I'm just gonna be myself. I'm not gonna fool around with that. I'm not gonna tone anything down or anything. Okay, so the first three times I tried that on for size, the dates like blew up like you wouldn't believe. I mean, one of them, the woman turned kind of white asked to be taken home immediately. Didn't talk in the car on the way home, got out and kind of quickly went to the front door. And another woman like jumped up from the table at the restaurant and like stormed out across the parking lot, just completely disgusted with me. And I was just being myself. In one case, I was telling a story about something that had happened earlier in my life, and I was being my usual animated self, and I wasn't toning it down. In the other situation, this person was making it impossible for us to like have anything at this restaurant we'd gone to sit down and just have a chat. And I just honestly commented to her about what was going on there, and that just really pissed her off. Okay, so I decided that's too bad. It hasn't been working the way I've been doing it, so I'm going to change it up. And I knew a woman that I was not attracted to. We were friends. We'd known each other for 3 or 4 years. She'd been married, and I was in a relationship maybe at the time as well. And then we both split up with our partners. So we had known each other, and we got together as friends. And neither one of us was really attracted to the other one particularly. And so we just, we're friends. We went out and did things like friends for a while, and that worked out really well. There was no, hidden interest there or anything like that. And about 6 months into it, after we'd been friends, and every time we went out and we did something, it was great. We were having tea at a coffee house, and I just decided, you know what? I mean, if it's so easy to be this woman's friend, maybe we could be more than friends, And so I started to talk to her about that. I was thinking about, well, maybe we should see if this can be more than friends. And then I was thinking about, okay, if I'm really honest with her, all the things about myself that are a little bit weird, that I think are maybe not that cool. And I said, I wanted to say it to her, and I couldn't do it. And I was actually like digging at my eyes like this at the table. I was having a moment. She thought something was going on, like I was really tired or something, but she was really sweet about it. She didn't realize what was going on, that I could not spit out all this stuff about myself that I knew was going to have to work out in a relationship, or it wasn't going to work. So I went home that night, and I said, okay, I'm going to put this in an email. And I wrote it all out into the email, and my finger hovered over that send button for quite a while, and then I hit it, and I just cringed. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I sent that. And like a couple of days later, I get this email back, and she goes, I read your email, and I was like, it's great. I don't have any problem with any of that. And I was like, really? And so we started dating, and it went freaking fantastic. And now she's my life partner, and we've been blissed out for over 4 years. It's been really, really, really fantastic. So I didn't think it would happen, but it happened because I decided to go ahead and be myself. So if it could happen for me, maybe that's an answer for someone out there. Just go ahead and be yourself. See what happens.